So what it means is that in this reaction has taken place. Calcium oxide plus water gives calcium hydroxide, and with that it releases tremendous amount of heat, and this heat heats up the beaker. So if you're doing this experiment, then you have to be careful to take a beaker with strong glass, otherwise it can break. So first balance this equation. There are 2 oxygen, 2 hydrogen, 1 calcium. Everything is balanced already. So this is a combination reaction, but such reactions which have this heat being released are known as exothermic reactions. In which heat is released. So when you're asked to write the reaction, you have to write this heat along with the products. It's very important because it's an exothermic reaction and heat is what you can say a product. They can also ask you what is quicklime and what is slaked lime. This calcium oxide is commonly known as quicklime, and when you react it with water, form calcium hydroxide. This is commonly known as slaked lime. It's also a very common question. What is quicklime? What is slaked lime? They can also ask you what is the use of this reaction. You'll see that this slaked lime, it's used in your whitewashing of walls. They'll ask you why. What is the why is calcium oxide or why is calcium hydroxide or why is slaked lime used in the whitewashing of walls? That also has a reason. This calcium hydroxide if you keep on the walls, after some time it will start reacting with the carbon dioxide in the air and it will form calcium carbonate and water. So what happens is that when it forms this calcium carbonate gives a luster. I mean, it's a shiny looking compound, so it gives a shine to the walls, so the walls look beautiful. That is why your walls are whitewashed. And you know that marble, which is shining, also has the formula of CaCO3. Although the CaCO3 which is formed in this case is not marble, but marble also has the formula CaCO3. So that is why your slaked lime is used for whitewashing of walls. I'll give you one more example of combination reaction. We all respire, so the reaction which takes place in our body is also a combination reaction. No, I'm giving you the balanced reaction only. Just the exact opposite of photosynthesis. In this, oxygen and this combines to form two products, not one in this case. forms two products. And of course heat is also a product. So if you have noticed that in photosynthesis, these were the reactants and these were the products. In respiration, these are the reactants and these are the products. And this energy, which was taken in the form of sunlight in photosynthesis, in this reaction, the same energy is released in the form of heat. And that is why we get this energy. So this breakdown of glucose, when it reacts with oxygen, not breakdown of glucose, so glucose combines with oxygen to give us this energy which we require. So this is a combination reaction, and this is also exothermic. So when they ask you to give an example of exothermic reaction, you can either give this example or you can give the calcium oxide example. Next, we come to our decomposition reaction. Now, in decomposition, it is in one way opposite to combination reaction, because in this case you have a product A breaking into several other products, B plus C plus D, can be two or more products. So in combination you had three product, four reactants combining to form one or maybe two products. In this you have one reactant breaking down to form two or more products. So a very good example of this is your calcium carbonate. If you supply heat to calcium carbonate, you'll see that it will break down into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, and this is balanced already. So this calcium carbonate, you just heat it a little bit, it will quickly decompose into this, and this will go out, just evolve. And you'll see that in this reaction, heat is not released but is required for the reaction. And such reactions in which heat is absorbed or is required are known as endothermic reactions, opposite of exothermic. So in endothermic reactions, heat is absorbed. In exothermic reactions, heat is given out or heat is released during the reaction. That is the main difference between endothermic and exothermic. So if they ask you differences between endothermic and exothermic, just give this difference and then give one example of each. In that exothermic, you already have one or two examples. In endothermic, you will have this. So in this is the reactant, one single reactant breaking down into two products. So it's a decomposition reaction.